Hey everybody, it's Micah with Memberium, and today we get the pleasure of talking to Stephen Pryor, who runs Pryor Marketing Solutions, and he's agreed to give us a peek behind the scenes of a membership site that he's built and share some insights and some things he's learned along the way. So Stephen, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to show you guys what we have been working on for the last few months.
Cool. So before we dive into it, can you give us just a little background about kind of yourself and your business, how you got started and what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I got started, doing, web development and web design, like back when I was like 12. So I've been doing this now for, over, 12, 13 years. I started getting more into the marketing side of things through college. And then right after college, I got a job with Laurel Langmeyer, who's a popular info marketer, and I've since left. Then started my own business, and I do a lot of stuff with speakers, bigger name speakers like David Sharp, John Carlo Barraza, and a few other people in the industry. But we do stuff with within the financial industry, again, like the speaking industry, and we have some real estate clients as well. So. We offer funnel development services and marketing services. We also do the membership site development stuff, obviously. That's my background.
Gotcha. So just to clarify on that, I'm looking at this site here, for example, did you do everything, or is there do you do graphic design and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do. We're a full service, marketing agency. We do all of the development, the design, the Infusionsoft work, the marketing strategy, and that marketing strategy kind of, as I'll kind of point out when we walk through the site, that marketing strategy is kind of embedded throughout the membership site, because this is mainly for front end products. So, we basically cover everything.
Okay, cool. And so obviously you're, working with this company. A lot of times we'll talk to the company themselves. So can you also tell us real briefly, and then we'll dive into the details, but tell us real briefly about this company and what they're doing so we get the context.
Yeah, so the Millionaire Mastermind was founded by John Carlo Barraza. He's a fairly successful super affiliate. So he does stuff, like promoting ClickBank offers, or I think he actually does a lot of stuff with other affiliate networks that are more profitable. So basically, the Millionaire Mastermind has a bunch of, coaching programs teaching people how to start from nothing and, then become a affiliate marketer. So now we have, the front end products teaching people, how to just get set up with affiliate marketing. And then, we have 3 or 4 different packages that provides one-on-one coaching to, get your campaigns up and running. So, some of our students are making upwards to, $2,000 or $3,000 a week just off, their first CPA, campaigns.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. So walk me through, if you don't mind, kind of the process one of those customers is going to go through. So maybe it's from here that they end up on your site. And yeah, if you can take us through how they buy and get into the membership area and then what that's like to get started, that'd be great.
Yeah, so this is one of the variations of the sales page for the 24-hour commission code. And the 24-hour commission code is the entry point to this funnel. We might play around with, adding, a free offer or a lead magnet at the beginning of this. So we're still kind of split testing, all of these sales pages. But for the shopping cart, we actually utilize Spiffy, which is a popular, order form service that integrates with Infusionsoft. So it's really a really clean design, and you basically put all of the template scripts inside of Infusionsoft. So as you can see, it's hosted by Infusionsoft.com, and that just makes it a lot easier in terms of passing information onto upsell pages. And so for the upsell page, after they purchase, they're taken to this page, and the 24-hour commission code is a video course. So we've created, 3 or 4 different templates, or template sets rather. And these are templates for PPC marketing, So like Bing ads, or like landing page templates. And we have some suggested offers that people should start off with when they start their first ClickBank campaign. So for $97 extra, you can add these templates to your order. And we're to do this, what we're using Memberium's one-click upsell. So this is all technically hosted on the membership site. It's just a public, it's an unlocked page. And so when they click, this button, action set fires off inside of Infusionsoft, and it adds the order.
Okay, so just to clarify, when they're coming off that Infusionsoft order form that you styled with Spiffy, you are auto-logging into the site, right? And that's how you're able to do this one-click upsell page afterward?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry. So I just we get a lot of questions about that. And just for those of you listening, yeah, once you're auto-logged in, this is easy because you know who they are, you have their card on file, and you can go with it. So sorry, didn't want to interrupt. But so once they do, let's say they buy with the upsell, what is the next step? Like if they click that there, what happens?
So as of now, we just send them to the membership site. So this test account that we are using doesn't have the actual templates. So if they haven't purchased the templates, we give them the opportunity on the membership site homepage to do a one-click upsell for the $97 product. And then obviously the advanced CPA marketing system, that's something that we're currently working on. It's actually going to be like a physical box set. So we're trying to figure out what's the best way to, incorporate an online element with that. So that should be coming in, a month or two. But the main online course piece of this is the 24-hour commission code. So if we open up the module, it goes to just an intro page. And they can start the lesson right here.
Man, I really like how it's got a custom look and feel. Like, at least I haven't seen it, but it's so simple, like big kind of blocky buttons, not too many options. It looks nice.
Yeah, definitely. We used Thrive Content Builder and Thrive Themes to build this out. And I'm a huge proponent of that. I think their interface is really easy and somewhat fun to work with. I've used Optimized Press before, and that's great. But Thrive, just the elements that they provide are just really, really clean, and it's completely customizable. So we really the Millionaire Mastermind's marketing and all of their assets like graphics, videos, they really have this kind of sleek feel to them. So we really wanted to incorporate that when we were building out this membership site.
Gotcha. What I like too, and if you don't mind jumping back to that homepage, what I think is cool here and really smart is, you can auto log them in and send them right to the content, but you're doing a couple things like offering that upsell, teasing them about the advanced system, and sending them their content. I think that's pretty clever. Out of curiosity, the upsell, if you do click that button, does it go to a confirmation page, or what happens?
Yeah, it does. With this test account, I don't have a credit card attached to it.
And that's okay. I was just curious. I wanted to just, for those of you listening, I'm guessing you send them to the confirmation page just because they're going to need more info before being sure they want to spend that $97, right?
Well, yeah. So we'll send them to a confirmation page, and then they click the button, and then they can purchase.
Yeah, cool. No, and just side note for customers looking at this, if you just had that as the action set button and they clicked it and got billed $97, some people may have thought they were going to a confirmation page and might be upset by that. They may not have meant to order it. So, and I only mention it because it's happened a few times, and you'd rather not give people refunds for accidental upsells as part of their new member experience, right? So very cool. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of point that out because it's, seems fairly simple, but I like how you're getting a lot done on this page pretty effortlessly. Yeah,
and we've also, again, these are all of our, beginner clients, or they're not even really, clients at this point. They've purchased a $47 product. So we've incorporated some sales elements, and this is something we're going to be testing out and kind of looking at some of the like hot jar analytics and stuff, just to see how people are interacting with this page. But for now, the general idea is that this membership site not only provides the content, but it indoctrinates people into the Millionaire Mastermind and what we represent, and it gives them other opportunities to get more involved with us. So, and the other cool thing just to point out is you can see right here the affiliate or fast start training. This is actually an auto webinar funnel that we have. This is our main funnel. This generates the most of our sales at the moment, or at least our back end sales, and it's an application funnel. So what we did was we created a variation of the stealth seminar event just for my Millionaire Mastermind leads, so we can track that. But also, if people have access to my Millionaire Mastermind and they've already registered for this auto webinar, we don't want to send them back to this page ever. So what we've used memberium for is to actually change the menu, and we have some like native ads throughout the membership site for the fast start training. So after people have registered, this link will change to the actual application. So whether or not they've gone through the training or not, the next step in the funnel is to get them to apply, and that basically just gives them 30 to 60 minutes of free time with one of our strategists. So the entire purpose of the site is to kind of get people to stay engaged with all of our funnels.
Yeah, I love it. So real quick, and I might have you jump into the back end here and there. We don't have to now, but without getting too nerdy, I'm guessing for the menu, you're using the menu items visibility plugin as well, or is it something different?
Yeah, exactly. We're using that, and then you guys have provide some documentation on we're basically controlling the visibility off tags because we're pulling the registered for webinar tag to control the visibility on that.
Gotcha. Very cool. And anyone who has any questions about any of these, we'll just kind of mention them so we don't have to dive into it, but you can always reach out to support or look it up on the site. So no, this is cool. And sorry to bring you back here. So if you do go back into a lesson, we go in and open that. Is yours, out of curiosity, is it something where they have to go one at a time, or can they skip ahead, or how did you structure that?
Yeah, so we let them skip ahead. We don't have any quizzes or any criteria for you guys to move on. We're thinking about creating another product that's more like a certification that uses something like LearnDash. But at this time, we kind of want people to be able to go through this at their own pace. But we are thinking about some higher level courses that will control the actual flow of the material that they're consuming. Gotcha.
Cool. So could you show me maybe in Infusionsoft? I would be curious to see some of the supporting campaigns for this. Like, what are you doing from that side?
Yeah. So the one thing that we're still testing a lot of the marketing for this, but I can kind of show you how we deliver everything. Hold on. Okay, so it's a pretty simple campaign at this point. We have a trigger tag just for customer support, and we also have the purchase goal right here for the 24-hour commission code. With this, we send it to memberium. We apply the membership tag, and then we send them a delivery email. It's pretty short and sweet. Okay. And then we have an auto login link when people click the button. So we use campaign merge fields just for the support email. And then we apply just a purchase tag, and we have these are just certain lists that we are using just to segment all of our customers. So it's pretty basic at this point for now. And then we use billing automation. So if let's just say the rapid results template upsell doesn't go through, we remove access and we send them an email that says, hey, your order didn't go through, please update your credit card information.
Yeah, gotcha. So keeping it fairly simple on that side. What was one of the more challenging parts of building the site, would you say?
It wasn't super challenging. We just needed to make sure that all of the short codes, and especially the menu visibility, and this is the ad that I was telling you about before. We wanted to make sure that it was dynamically updating based on where people were at within our overall company funnel. But overall, it was pretty smooth. It took a while to create all of the assets and stuff as well. We created the product using a recording from a high level event that we did, and we just modified that so it looked really well as an online course. So and then we created the transcripts, the audios. This is the transcript right here. So we created a really cool PDF template for all of the different modules. But overall, it wasn't super difficult, smooth project.
I bet it was a lot of work though. Just like what I think you've done an especially good job of is leveraging stuff. So if you're saying this came from an event, to display it not just as a membership site, but to take the time to do the transcript, which looks really great. And I'm sure the audio is great and, has a little intro and all that. So just like the consistency and the branding. And then what I want to point out to a lot of people is you're, taking full advantage of the content you do have by providing it in these different ways and making the pages look so nice. The same content could just be, a block of videos on a page or one page full of videos. And so this really does add a ton of value, perceived value, and I guess becomes real value. But I also was just really kind of mulling over the fast start training strategy, and it's kind of settling in more and more with me how cool that is that, you're using an evergreen webinar not as part of a front-end sales funnel, but for existing members, where it really does kind of look like it's training and live training that's happening now. And as I understood what you said, that's really more of an upsell play, right? Like the webinar, I'm sure there's training, but it ends in them applying for a higher end program, or?
Yeah, it leads into an application page, and then from there, our strategists will try to get them into one of our more advanced programs. And we have 3 or 4 different, options based on the income situation and, their interest level in, affiliate marketing.
No, it's great. I mean, it's what most people should be doing. So most people probably have about this much content, and I haven't been through the site, but I'm guessing about as much content as I'm seeing here. They've got a little body of content, and then, leveraging it this way, I think is just really smart. It's a perfect example. So what do you feel is maybe unique on the site that you did?
In terms of uniqueness, I think, as we talked about, the different upsell opportunities, how we kind of integrated that with, the content. But, overall, we just really wanted to, create a really good looking, website that is going to give people a really good first impression about, our company. So I think, we did a fairly good job doing that.
Yeah, very cool. How do you guys handle support? I see the item up there, but what do you use for that, and how much do you offer your members?
So we use, Rhino support. In terms of the level of support that we give people, it depends on, what products that they have. Obviously, if they have a coaching program, we, the whole point of it is to give, one-on-one support. But if they have any technical issues and stuff, we have a ticketing system that people use. We also, this company is really unique in the sense that we really utilize Skype chats. It sounds kind of primitive, but when people purchased a $6,000 or $7,000 program, or a $15,000 program, we want to be accessible to them, as much as possible. So, some of our students even have access to Gianni, who's the main, speaker. So they can just, hit him up anytime they want, over Skype, and, he dedicates a block of time each day to, answer those questions. So those are the two, I guess, support methods that we have, is just the ticketing system. And then for our coaching program, we utilize a lot of like one-on-one, contact.
Gotcha. And that to me is really interesting, because a lot of people are trying to, still provide value to their audience, but also limit their exposure. So does he have any issues with that being too available to his clients, or at that level, is it just kind of whatever they want?
Well, we don't, again, he doesn't, not everybody has, full access to him, but we also have a team of, I think we're at like 6 coaches right now. So, it all gets distributed, pretty evenly, and we'll continue to grow as we, the amount of students that we have grows. But as of now, it hasn't created any, program. And we just feel that, if people are going to invest that level of money with us, that we should be, readily available. I've worked with, some companies, that, they'll spend, you'll spend $20,000 with them, and, you'll have to wait like a day or two just to get a basic email back, or, if you, have a coaching call, you have to wait until that coaching call. So, I really like that about, the Millionaire Mastermind. They do a really good job, interacting with their students and making sure that, all of them, reach some sort of level of success based on whatever their goals are.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that's great. Memberium, we try to provide high-end support as well, but I know it's always kind of how you position that to make sure that expectations are managed, is usually an issue that comes up. So I want to bounce around a little bit. I'll go something, we'll get nerdy for a second, and then I'll come back to sales. Can you maybe show me on the back end of the site? Can we go look at a list of the plugins that you use?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, so you mentioned you're using Thrive with Apprentice, it looks like. And I love Thrive as well. I didn't realize that's what you were using there. Looks great. So maybe walk us through some of the plugins you're using and why, just in case people want to do some of the same stuff.
Yeah. So we got to update some of these plugins for security reasons. So anybody watching this, please don't hack our website. So obviously we use Memberium and I2 SDK. And then we use menu items visibility control. We're a huge proponent of Thrive. And one of the reasons we like using Thrive is it kind of minimizes, there's like so many features with Thrive, it kind of minimizes the amount of plugins that we need to use, which is really important for like website speed and overall the security of the website. And then, we use, WP MooDev. We're using their snapshot plugin right now, but we plan on using some of their other stuff, like, for branding or, page load time. That's really important with this particular project, because we want to have a really smooth customer experience. So we're trying to kind of minimize the amount of plugins that we are using. Obviously, we talked about it before, the menu items visibility control. That's what's controlling our menu. I can show you that.
Yeah, and I just, for those of you listening, he said some things that so it doesn't go over anyone's head. The less plugins you have, the more secure your site is. So when he's talking about how Thrive kind of does the job of multiple plugins, he's just saying, any plugin you have is a potential risk, and it, kind of depends where it comes from and what it does. But yeah, less plugins means less security risk and better performance as far as speed, which affects all sorts of things.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Obviously, you guys, are like Memberium, your guys are an established company. WP MooDev, they're a very established company. They have you guys have teams that, take security, seriously. And there's a lot of plugins though, like plugin developers that they only care about the functionality of it. They don't think 3 steps ahead when WordPress updates their platform, how that's going to whether or not that's going to create like security vulnerabilities, with those plugins. So we try to do our best to stay with companies that provide plugins that are just well established and well supported.
Gotcha. So you're going into the menu item visibility stuff, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. So the Fast Start training, that's obviously that is what people see if they've not registered for our affiliate Fast Start webinar. It's controlled based off tags. So this is shown to everybody who does not, that's what the exclamation point is, that does not have tag ID 2068. Let's see, 20 secondary menu, I think. Nope. Sorry, we're on the right page. And then right here, we have two different levels of, conditional statements. One is if they've already registered for the affiliate Fast Start, and then two, if they've not applied already. So this tag, this is the tag that when people apply for a strategy call, we will apply this tag to them, and that helps just control the visibility of the CPA strategy call.
Gotcha. And for those of you watching, what he did there by having mem has any tags twice is it's similar to an infusion where you say must have this tag and this tag versus either of these tags.
Yeah, correct. We wanted to make sure that the right people were seeing that offer.
Yeah, very cool. Was there any other custom coding that you had to do to make all this work?
No, it was actually a pretty, straightforward, project. We obviously did some like custom, CSS stuff, but nothing too crazy. But we rely heavily on, Thrive and some of their, supporting plugins.
Gotcha. Yeah, and on your plugin list, I thought that was interesting because it's already shorter than most people's plugin lists, but when I was looking at it, it's like, a couple of those are Thrive and a couple of those are memberiums. So really you don't have too much there.
Yeah, we did a really good job trying to like minimize the footprint of the plugins.
Yeah. What would you say, and maybe there isn't one, but is there any like mistake that you made as you made the site that you would do differently?
I think, we definitely are still experimenting with the sales page and basically the sales process. That's going to be something that we need to tweak a lot. So that's definitely not a finished product. And obviously, over time we will kind of revamp everything. But we're pretty happy with what we've produced so far. And then this is a good starting point for us to keep building this out. We plan on releasing a bunch of other new products using this membership platform. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay. So it sounds like your roadmap is keep working on the funnel and then add more products into the same site. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that the flow is, in sync with everything else. And that's kind of why, one of the things I guess, this membership site is, missing is a lot of the, email marketing sequences that could be attached to the behaviors of the website. So for example, if somebody, views completes a course or completes a page, or if they view, a page, we can apply a tag and that sends them into a drip sequence trying to get them to keep digesting the content. So that's definitely something that we plan on, implementing in the near future. So I guess that, if there's, a chink in the chain, that would probably be it, as just the automation on the back end in terms of like email marketing. But overall, we're like really happy with, how it came out.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks actually pretty awesome. And knowing what's behind some of that, I know it's not necessarily hard, but some of it is tedious. It's a lot of work. So I think it's really cool. I know you do services yourself, but let's say, do you have any advice for somebody who is just starting out, who's not going to hire a consultant and is going to build it themselves? What kind of general advice might you give them?
Well, I think, the the best place to start, and I know we're talking about membership sites, but this kind of goes with that, is figuring out like the position of whatever product you're trying to build within inside your company's ecosystem or within your company's funnel. So is this going to be a front end product? Is this going to be a membership site for your $2,000 product or your $10,000 coaching program? So it's really important to identify where the product that you're building is going to be positioned within your funnel, so you can develop a strategy on how you want to set up the site. So that goes back into creating the webinar offers and the upsell opportunities. We knew that this website was going to be a front end for front end products. So we tailored it that way. So it's important just to kind of, have a game plan in terms of like what you want to use, this product, for. Like I have a few clients, not too many, but that, they want to build a membership site, but they don't know where that's going to fit in with everything else that they want to do. Is it going to be a front end offer? Is it going to be, is it going to be the back end offer? And that's also important in terms of pricing. You can't figure out pricing unless you know where it's going to fit into your product. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I definitely think knowing where your product fits in is one of the important things that people kind of don't spend a lot of time thinking about.
Yeah, I think that answers it perfectly. Very on point, because you're right. A lot of people aren't quite thinking as strategically as they could. They know they want one, but figuring out how it fits into the grand scheme of things is going to go a long way. I think people get the idea that it works for so-and-so, so I'm going to make one and it's going to work, and I'm going to make this money, but they don't realize that so-and-so's got quite a few systems built around that. If you're at liberty to talk about it, I'd be kind of curious. You mentioned, this mastermind, millionaire mastermind company. How does this membership site fit into the grand scheme of things? When you guys approached, developing it, what were some of the thoughts and discussion? Why did you do it versus something else? So they're a really interesting company. They've, done, several million just, basically with this affiliate fast start funnel. And then we have a couple other very similar funnels talking about different subjects, but the premise of it is, they've just an auto, webinar that goes to an application, and we have an amazing, strategy team that helps support the sales. But we haven't even had merchant processing up until recently. Everything was done through like wire transfers and occasional PayPal transactions. So we really wanted to kind of automate or systematize everything so that it wasn't the whole sales process in the old funnel. The whole funnel wasn't just super hands-on like it was. And we also wanted to qualify our leads more. And somebody who registers for a webinar isn't the most qualified lead. Obviously, if they fill out the application and they express interest in what we're teaching, that's a more qualified lead. But having those low level products that people can you make those like micro commitments with, that at the end of the day creates a really qualified lead, because once it's the whole like digital marketer spiel. Like once people invest a little bit of money with you, they're more inclined to invest more with you. So does that answer your question? Yeah, I think it does. Well, it definitely does. And so just to try to summarize a little bit, and correct me here if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you had kind of a high dollar, high touch model that was taking a lot of time. And so you're trying to build a qualifier on the front end to save time, and then systemize as much as possible to also save time and just, I guess, scale and increase profit, right?
Yeah. And to just having, that direct sale revenue that wasn't tied to any, sales reps and stuff. We were able to get a few, merchant accounts, and just being able to sell a product online. We can drive Facebook ads to that, or a lead magnet, and after the lead magnet, people will see this offer. And there's a lot of things that we can do just to get that that easy direct sale revenue.
Yeah, that makes sense. And just since it's been on my mind a little bit, but just to point out for those watching, what's kind of interesting about this is where they have the high end, where they have a back end product that they can sell, this front end membership site stuff. When you talked earlier about it being part of an overall strategy, this to them, I'm guessing they could almost lose money on it if it generated leads and qualified them, but I'm imagining they'll make money on it. So just kind of saying, no matter which way you go, if you're going from like high dollar down, building a membership site on the front end for all the reasons Steven's talking about is great. And then if you start at the bottom, as soon as you have something higher to offer, it makes you a lot more competitive marketing wise. Because I'm guessing if you wanted to, Steven, you guys could spend more than most other companies in this niche, just because you've got this back end offer that if 1 in 100 front end people converts to, pays for it.
Yeah, for sure. And it gives us the flexibility. Those back end sales gives us the flexibility to kind of experiment with different Facebook ads, different landing pages. We have a little bit more of an allowance in terms of that. We use Sam Bell and network market resources to do all of our Facebook ads, and he does a tremendous job. But just having that security that the front end is not going to make or break the business, it's key. It's really important.
Yeah, and it allows you to approach it with quality, which is what I'm kind of seeing throughout, is good quality stuff. So speaking of which, because you're the one doing all the work, like if someone's interested in having something similar done for them or working with you, first of all, since I have this opportunity, what, you say you're full service with all of that. Is there anything specific or special that you do? Aside from what they've seen here, is there other stuff that they should know about you as opposed to someone else maybe building sites?
Well, everything we do, it's marketing focus. So we don't build any front-facing websites. Like we're not going to go out to like a flower store, like a local flower store, and try to get them on as clients just to build their front-facing website. So we specifically focus on marketing funnels and then membership sites that can support those particular funnels. I view both of those as, I view membership sites as tools in the grand scheme of things, in terms of like a marketing strategy. So I think that's what kind of, makes, our membership sites unique. I'm sure there's other people out there that have that same mindset, but that's all we specialize in. If it has, if it's not going to if the project isn't going to be marketing oriented, then probably not the best people to do that. So we kind of have kind of carved out that niche, and we've been pretty successful at that.
Gotcha. Very cool. And I like that a lot, because there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know, academic or maybe purists or something with their ideas that don't, there's a range, like everyone knows they need some marketing, but I'm just saying, having that marketing focus, what I usually have to convince people like that of is, like, the more you market and the more you make, the more you can get your message out there. So it's not just, hey, let's make more money. It's like, okay, if you, a lot of people will say, well, I just want to spread the message. I want to teach people. I want to help people, which I totally get, because so do I. But it's, to get out there, you're going to have to make some money along the way. You're going to have to market. And so having the marketing first approach, I think, is the only way to go. And obviously the product has to be there or it's not going to be sustainable. But so many people just, they overthink the content and the delivery, which is valuable. We talk a lot about that. You want to make it cool. But if you don't market it well enough, it just doesn't really matter. So I love that. If someone's interested in working with you, how do they contact you? Or do you have anything special going on? Like anything you want to offer or talk about?
Well, if anybody's interested in working with us, you guys can, visit our website at priormarketing.com, or you can just email me directly. My email is Stephen, Stephen at priormarketing.com. And yeah, if you guys are, already memberium users, we can offer, discounts on, our project-based pricing. We've done that in the past for, previous memberium customers that we've worked with. So we're always happy to support the memberium community. We're happy that you guys, chose to feature our website, on one of these, walkthroughs. So we like what you guys are doing.
Well, ditto. And I really appreciate you coming on. Like, I'm, happy to have you talk about whatever here, and we'll put links under the video because you've been really gracious with your time and, showing us through that and sharing what you guys are doing. So really appreciate it, Stephen. Thank you.
Well, thank you.